In the comments below, I want to know if there's anybody that feels how Austin Rivers feels about the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah, Golden State definitely looks very solid right now. I hate to see it. I don't like it one bit. I'm tired of that team.
You know, Austin Rivers has received a lot of hate throughout the course of his career and has had to endure some overwhelming matchups. Anybody else remember when Austin Rivers straight up was thankful that Damian Lillard missed a three-pointer? I've never been that down bad in my life, but of course I've never had to guard Damian Lillard in my life. I have a lot of respect for these NBA perimeter defenders. Like Mikal Bridges said, it's not easy to be put on an island and expected to get stop after stop after stop against top-tier NBA talent. I was joking earlier about Rivers. He wasn't really down bad, but the clip was funny nonetheless. You want to know what else is funny? How sustainably good the Golden State Warriors have been. Sometimes I feel like the Warriors don't get enough props or love for their run of success. And then I remember that their fan base is so big that they can literally take over opposing arenas. Ahead of Game 3, Mike Malone flat out said that I imagine that this place is going to be half filled with Warrior fans. Even if what Malone is saying is true, it's not something that a fan base wants to hear headed into a must-win playoff game against a team that has been mind-numbingly hot. This video, we have a ton to talk about, but before we go any further, let's get a word from our sponsor. Today's video is brought to you by Albert. Albert is like banking, but on a completely different level. Albert is free to sign up for, and it's really easy to use. Albert won't do anything like charge you $35 in overdraft fees. Check it out. With Albert, you can get up to $250 whenever you need if you qualify. The best way to find out if you qualify is by downloading the app yourself. One of my favorite things about Albert is that you can get cash back with your purchases. Let's be real. Managing money can be tough, and a little help can go a long way. This is where Albert's Genius team comes in. They will help devise a plan for you and answer any questions that you have, no questions asked. Guys, it gets even better. When you get paid on your Albert card, you can get your paycheck up to 2 whole days early. For a limited time, when you open a checking account and connect a qualifying direct deposit, you'll get $150. I want to give a major shout out to Albert for sponsoring today's content. There was a lot of talk about this team's struggles to close the season, and I get it, there was a stretch where this team went 1-7. Draymond wasn't playing at the level that we had become accustomed to him playing at. Steph was poised to miss a lot of time, and Klay, to be short, wasn't looking like Klay. Personally, I always thought that the Warriors' struggles were a bit overblown. I don't think that Steve Kerr is perfect by any means, but I do think that he handled what could have turned into a tough situation very well. What am I talking about? I'm talking about the Klay Thompson situation. Klay Thompson is without a doubt one of the most prolific shooters in NBA history. I trust Klay to take and make an open three over a lot of guys making free throws. Over the years, Klay has proven his worth to this Warriors team and entrenched himself as a critical member for what they've worked to build. So why were there some fans who were so quick to throw Klay Thompson to the side upon his return? In January, Klay Thompson returned from a lengthy absence. This was somebody who hadn't logged an NBA minute since the 2018-2019 season. Injuries suck, and I'll repeat that whenever I can. In January, Klay instantly returned to the starting lineup. He shot 40.6% from the field and 32.9% from three, while averaging 15.6 points per game for the entire month. These numbers were a long ways away from Klay's career averages of 45.8% from the field and 41.7% from three. To be honest with you guys, I had the bar set really low for Klay. I was personally impressed he was able to average that 15.6 points per game, efficiency and defensive woes aside. I tore my Achilles back in July, and I don't know if I'll ever be comfortable hooping with high intensity again. For many, the most concerning part about Klay's return wasn't his efficiency or even his defensive woes. It was his occasional ball stopping and mental lapses. Despite Klay's struggles, Kerr made it clear that he was sticking with Klay. When asked about the possibility of pulling Klay from closing units, Kerr said, "Sounds great on paper if he's struggling, but these guys are human beings and they're not robots. My belief in our players is a huge part of coaching, and I will ride with Klay forever." Often I question Kerr's decisions. I like Kerr, but man, he walked into a great situation. He's not perfect and nobody is. I liked his decision to stick with Klay. With the ascension of Poole and Andrew Wiggins being an all-star starter, something in the lineup would eventually have to give. Did that mean that it was going to be Klay? No shot. I believe that when a team knows that it's going to be a contender, they'll use the regular season to find out what they have in a player, a system, or a play. A lineup, whatever, the list goes on. Part of what makes Klay great is his extreme confidence and his ability to put the ball in the basket from deep with extreme accuracy. Why not use the regular season to build Klay's confidence and find out if he still has that ability to play at a high level? Because when that postseason rolls around, knowing what you have in a guy like Klay Thompson can be more valuable than a few extra regular season wins. In the postseason, you can never have too much shooting. The scary thing is that I feel like the Warriors might actually have too much shooting. I'm being dramatic, but Jordan Poole's emergence into a special player almost doesn't seem fair. He's only 22 years old, and he's already averaging 19 points per game on 45% from the field and 36.4% from three. The difficulty of some of the shots that he's hit in that Denver series is off the charts. I guess his absurd shooting shouldn't be too much of a surprise though. He's had the ability to be mentored by two of the greatest shooters to ever touch a basketball, one of which he's apparently smoked during shooting drills. Poole's shooting and shot creation is great. So great that sometimes I feel like it overshadows his playmaking. Do you guys have any idea how unbelievable of a shooter that Klay Thompson is in an empty gym? The other day, there was a clip of Giannis hitting 16 to 17 straight threes at practice. Giannis isn't Ray Allen or anything during games, but in a gym by himself, I'm not going to be the one to tell you he's not. Like I said earlier, injuries suck, but some of these major injuries to this Warriors team have opened doors for players like Poole, who are always going to ascend and hit that next level, but had the process expedited. Draymond's admitted himself that Steph's injury allowed him to work more with Poole and do some of the things with Poole that we've seen him do with Steph. Their growing chemistry and the overall chemistry of this Warriors team is a beautiful thing to watch. Poole, Klay, Curry, the list goes on. All of these guys are capable of going for 6+ threes on any given night. There's nothing more demoralizing than giving up a ton of threes as an NBA team. You never know when a good shooting team might get hot from three and bust the game wide open. Imagine being able to beat a playoff caliber team with your best player coming off the bench and only playing around 20 minutes. Imagine having so much shooting and spacing around your best player that you make him more unguardable than he already is. The Dre, Wiggins, Poole, Curry, and Klay lineup has an offensive rating of 204. For reference, the highest offensive rating in the league this season was the Utah Jazz, with an offensive rating of 116.2. At the time that I'm making this video, the Warriors also hold the best offensive rating altogether for these playoffs at 131.7. Now, it's not only the offense that makes the Dre, Wiggins, Poole, Curry, and Klay lineup so interesting. Draymond and Wiggins help tie this team together with their defense and rebounding. Draymond's defense and ability to survive Jokic possessions has been clutch. When he's not battling Jokic, there's a chance you can catch him playing free safety. In the words of Mike Malone, he's not guarding anybody. Low-key saying that he's surviving Jokic possessions feels like I'm selling Draymond incredibly short. He's been phenomenal for Golden State. Dre's rebounding numbers may not be what they once were, but he does a good job of helping to keep his guy off the glass so guys like Andrew Wiggins can crash. When you play small, you don't have to win the rebounding battle, but you should be able to at least put up a fight. And fighting is exactly what Wiggins has been doing. Have I mentioned the versatility of Wiggins? On defense, that goes a very long way. The Warriors are tough. We haven't seen Wiseman this season, and you can already tell that Moody and Kuminga are going to be really good. Their depth pieces also fit really well and understand their roles and how they can help this team reach their goal of winning another championship. GETLIKECOOP had this to say on the Warriors team building philosophy. There are a couple teams, I'm not going to say who, that went all in on older players, and older players do get injured. Suppose we had made a trade, traded away all our youth, and they're injured, out for the year. Guys, do you think that Lakeup has a point? Let me know down in the comments below. I have to say, the Warriors' foresight has been absolutely amazing. Hall of Famers mentoring the young players, sign me up for that any day of the week. I mean, seriously guys, vets can be really invaluable to young players, but I'm sure you guys already knew that. And I mean, you really have to have the right vets too, because of the wrong vets, you know what, I'm not going to get into it. Let me know what you guys think of everything down in the comments below. Clicking the video on the screen right now is a great way to support my channel. I'm GetLikeCoop, bringing you guys the scoop. Until our next upload.